I was crouched near the entrance, tearing into a hot dog that was unapologetically greasy and delicious. Each bite came with a satisfying snap of cabbage and perfectly seared meat that tasted like it had come straight from paradise. While I ate, I half-watched movers lugging suitcases into a van, groaning and puffing like old machines under strain. That's usually the beginning, isn't it? For hopeless romantics like me, the kind who dive headfirst into love without a life jacket. It hit hard, loud, vibrating in my skull, itchy in my chest. I first saw Veronica at Alex's birthday. The instant she entered the room, I felt the shift, like a sailor spotting a storm brewing far off but too mesmerized to turn away. She was tall, hair the color of wildfire, eyes dancing with mischief. Fluent in 3 languages like it was no big deal, scarfing down cake without flinching, drinking tequila as though it were ancient medicine instead of straight poison. 2 years later, we were exchanging vows like something pulled from a feel-good film. Veronica glowing in white, our parents misty-eyed, our friends tipsy and loud, and me in the only suit I owned. We'd already planned the honeymoon, but after that, it was back to the water for me. I worked the sea, a sailor by trade. Backpack frayed at the seams, uniform faded from sun and salt, and a heart that beat out her name with every footstep on the dock. Right before I left, she squeezed my hand and whispered, "Make a good haul. We'll get a car. I'll read you poetry while we drive past mountain ridges with pines swaying behind us." I grinned and said, "Only if you're in a swimsuit." We dreamed it all up, wrote it out in our heads. 5 months away, 3 houses to chase, everything laid out like pearls on a necklace. That first deployment was simple. When I returned, she welcomed me like a hero in an action flick, walking out of the smoke. We did it, bought the car, road trip through winding hills, drank red wine, devoured mussels, took photos on cliff edges that dared you to either kiss or fall. We had our rhythm. A rise. Time passed, 3 years in a blur. I became the ocean. She became home. Sunday dinners. Flowers on holidays. A steady, peaceful love. Maybe too steady. At times, I wondered if it had gone stale. Then came a long assignment. By the time I returned, I was sunburnt, wind-chapped, and running on adrenaline and instant soup. All I craved was Veronica, a hot shower, and a real bed. But the second she opened the door, I knew something had shifted. No hug, just a polite wave, like I was a neighbor dropping by. A smile that didn't touch her eyes. She said, "Can we skip the surprises tonight?" I blinked. For months talking only to gulls, and this was my welcome? "I'm just tired," she added. I didn't understand, not fully. But I nodded. Didn't push. Next day, she hit me with, "We've been kind of careless." Her voice was low, guarded. "No protection?" I asked, confused. "There's birth control in the cabinet, unless I've lost my mind." "Maybe you missed a few." She wouldn't meet my eyes. And like a fool, I pretended to believe her. But my stomach had already started to burn with suspicion. Then came the itching. The burning. You know, down there. I thought it was detergent. A bad swimsuit. Just my body acting up from months at sea. Still, I booked an appointment. Better to be sure. There I was in a too-clean exam room, the doctor flipping through papers like my life was a paperback. "You've got syphilis," she said, like she was commenting on the weather. I froze. "Sorry, what?" She nodded. "Classic case. Nothing uncommon. Treatable." My phone almost slid from my hand. And suddenly everything made sense. I hadn't been unfaithful. No secret flings. Just the ocean and my crew. So I called Veronica, hands trembling. She answered too calmly, like she knew this call was coming. "We need to talk," I said. At home, I didn't raise my voice. Didn't throw anything. Just laid the test results on the kitchen table. She didn't read them. Didn't have to. "I can explain," she whispered. "It was what you think. But it was only once." I asked when. She faltered. Said it happened during a spa weekend with her sister. Her sister's boyfriend brought a friend. One thing led to another. Mistakes were made. I laughed, sharp and bitter. "You tripped and landed on syphilis?" But I stayed calm. Told her, Go to your mom's. I need space. Truth was, I'd already made up my mind. A few days later, her life was boxed up. A moving truck idled in the driveway. I stood by the window, phone in hand, watching a man gently load her espresso machine like it was a priceless heirloom. I called her. Come outside, sweetheart, I said, my voice sweet as honey. Got a surprise for you. Just like old times. Really? She asked, a flicker of hope in her voice. Yeah, I said. Exactly like old times. She stepped outside in her bathrobe, mascara smudged, eyes locked on the van like it was hauling away her future. And me, I was back where it all started. On the curb. Hot dog in hand. Greasy, joyful, messy. But this time, I felt light. Now, I'm returning to the sea. The sea doesn't lie. It's either calm or raging, no middle ground. I'm seeing someone new. Ingrid. A barista who hates spa weekends and says beer only counts if you're cracking crayfish while drinking it. She doesn't know I was married. Not yet. Too early. But if one day she asks, have you ever really loved someone? I'll probably just take a slow sip, smile, and say, yeah. So much, I never even saw it coming.